Thank you so much. Okay, then good evening, guys. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Suyesh, Sonu, Nidhi, RK Knight, Ajash, Nishant. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, all of you, and welcome to day 4 of HTML and CSS Essentials. And this time, this day 4 is also very important because we are going to be covering a really, really important concept, very important concept that a lot of people misunderstood. Actually, that's a concept that even I misunderstood when I was learning. So we're going to be covering that concept today. It's very easy, but you just have to understand it properly. Okay. So good evening once again, everyone, and welcome to day 4. And we are just like, there is only one day left. And tomorrow we're going to be making the project from everything we have learned till now. And yes, don't worry, Kishore, I'll do the project poll right now. We'll do it in the starting, or what we'll do is we'll do after 15 minutes. Okay, when everyone will be there, when everyone has joined properly, then we will do it. Okay, in some time. So guys, yesterday we covered something called as flexboxing. Not everything about flexboxing, but at least a start, right? So now we know what is exactly flex, right? How it works, how it can be used to arrange elements. And yesterday we also saw what exactly is box model and what are the properties of that. We understood what is padding, we understood what is margin. So guys, we have actually understood a lot of CSS, right? A lot of CSS. And today we are going to use all of them. Like, not today, actually. Today we will be learning one more new thing, and we'll also try to use something that we have learned till now. And tomorrow, literally whatever we have learned in the last 4 days, we'll be using everything to create a really cool project. Okay. What is the difference between header and navigation? So, okay, if you want to ask like a difference between header and navigation, let me open a site for that. So guys, let's start with today's session. And today's topic, the most important topic that we are covering today, is going to be something called as positions. This is the topic we'll be covering today, and after that we'll also talk about something called as pseudo classes. So one, two important stuffs, but this is something that people find confusing. So we'll cover this first, and then we'll move ahead to something called a pseudo classes, which is much more easier to understand and quite effective. Everything is useful, but some things are easy and some things are a little tricky, but we'll see everything today. Okay. And yes, I think someone asked the difference between header and navigation. So let me show you that. So for example, let's say I go to some site like Flipkart, maybe. Yep. See, so not actually Flipkart is not a good example of it. What can be a good example? I want some site. Um, okay, let's say apple.com. Again, I only need these two. I only always have these two sites, or any other sites, guys. Fine. So see, this is what you call as a header. This whole thing is a header of the site. And only this, the collection of links, is what you call as navigation, because when you click on them, you go somewhere in the site. That's why they are called as navigation. So the collection of these links is called as a navigation, and this whole thing is called as a header. And second thing is, navigation can be anywhere. It's not a fixed thing that navigation will always be in header. Like for example, this is also navigation. I can click anywhere and I can reach somewhere, right? So that's also navigation. This is also navigation, because when you click somewhere, some new thing appears, you go at some particular point in the site. So navigation is basically a collection of links that helps you to navigate into the site, to go here and there in your site. Header is basically the top part. Understood? The top section of your site, which is displaying logo, also navigation, sometimes some login fields, right? Sometimes your username if you're logged into some site. So that is what we call as navigation. Is it clear? I hope you understood this. Okay. Difference between What was that? Sticky and fixed. I'll tell you. Don't worry. Let's start with positions, and I'll tell you what is the difference between sticky and fixed. So we'll understand that as well. Don't worry. Okay. Let's go, guys. Let's start with today's concepts, everyone. So I hope we are excited, everyone. I hope you guys are excited for today's session, everyone. Please tell me. Please let me know that in the chat. And I think some site is open. Let me just close that. And yep, here we go. This is our VS code. Okay. So let's go. Javed is asking about what? Please help. Sir, assignment issue. What is the assignment issue? Wait, okay, can you please message your issue again? Javed, can you please do that? What was the issue? The procedure to upload the assignment. There is a link in the description. You just have to open that link and submit an assignment there. Okay, that's it. That's only thing you have to do. Can you show the icon code once? Yes, I think it's in here only. See, this one is it. So link, relation icon, and href, whatever icon you want. So that's it. Okay, that's it. That's what it is. Cool. I hope you saw it. Now then, guys, let's move ahead and let's me close all these files and let's create a new file. And also one more thing, guys. Now, till now, what we were doing is we were writing internal CSS, but we didn't see how to write CSS in the third way, right? We have seen inline CSS and we have seen internal CSS, and we have understood them both. Today, we'll also discuss about external CSS that is still left. So let's go. So guys, first of all, let me quickly create a new file for today and let me call it day4.html, something like that. Okay. Now, see everyone. Normally what we do is in internal CSS, what we do is we write our HTML here, okay, and we write our CSS in the head section, right? Normally that is the process we follow. But now, as our web page will get bigger or as our site will get bigger, there will be thousands of lines of HTML in my file, and also thousands of lines of CSS, because CSS lines are always more than the HTML lines. So in that case, it will be very, very tough for me to maintain my HTML and CSS. And if at any point I want to work with HTML, I have to scroll down a lot. If I want to work with CSS, I have to scroll up a lot. So code readability and maintainability will be a very big issue if I keep writing CSS and HTML at the same place. Because if both grow big, my file will become very big and it will be very hard to maintain it for me. Okay, that's where something called as external CSS comes. And guys, that's the only issue. There is no problem with internal CSS. It is not going to give you any problem until and unless you're writing a CSS of 100 lines, 50 lines, it's fine. But if you're going more than 100, 200 lines, I would always suggest you to use external CSS. So what exactly is external CSS? External CSS basically means instead of writing CSS in the same file as your HTML, you can create a separate file completely dedicated to CSS. So I can call it anything. So I'm going to call it day4 only. But now the extension will be .css, because this file is completely dedicated to CSS. Now you cannot write HTML here, only CSS. But now, whatever CSS I write here, how will it know that I have to get applied on these elements? When you write it in the head, it knows that I belong to this page. But right now, my CSS is at a different place. My HTML is at a different place. So how will they know each other? How will they know that we have to work with each other? So for that, you have to link them. Okay. So to link it again, same link tag, the tag that we use for icon, the same tag. But in this case, the relation will be style sheet. That means the file that I'm linking is basically my style sheet. Previously, it was the file that I was linking was my icon. Now the file that I'm linking is my style sheet. And then again in href, just pass the path. So dot slash or just the file name, because they're in the same folder. So day4 dot css. That's it. That's all. Now, whatever CSS you write, it will start working. Let me show you that. Let me just create a div here like this, div, and give it a class of, let's say, parent. Now, the way you used to write CSS internally, like creating a style tag and putting the CSS, it is the exact same way you have to follow. No difference. Guys, in CSS, in external CSS or internal CSS, there is no difference in writing CSS. Okay? Same logic. I gave a class name. Now, if I want to apply CSS, now again, you don't need to put a style tag here. No. Style tag indicates that you're writing CSS. But here, your whole page extension is .css. So it knows that it's a CSS file. You can simply apply or write CSS here. So that's it. Dot parent, same thing. Height, let's say 900 pixels. Width, let's say 700 pixels, something like that. And background color, let's say red. That's it. Sorted. Now let me see this. So run your HTML file now. So copy the path, go in your browser. That's all. So guys, are we cleared with this? Everyone, please tell me. Guys, are we cleared with external CSS? I hope there is no confusion. I really hope that there is no confusion. It's exactly similar, right? You don't do anything different. It's just in internal CSS, you create a style tag and write your CSS there. In external CSS, you create a separate file and there you write your CSS and you just have to link both the files so that it works. That's all. That's it. Now then, let's move to the next topic, guys. That is very, very important. As I say, that is what? Positions. Guys, this is our first topic of the day. Positions. So let's go. So now guys, first of all, let me explain you the property. Then I'll show you the uses. Okay. And for the next 10 minutes, guys, I want your complete focus. Okay. Naveen is asking, can you have multiple CSS files? Yes, you can have multiple CSS files and they all can be linked to any particular HTML page. So yes, you can also have multiple links of multiple CSS files. It's completely fine. Okay. Now then, let's go everyone. Let's go. So first of all, what exactly is a position? Position is nothing but a property in CSS that is applied to HTML elements. Just like you have margin and padding, just like that, position is also there. Now, all the properties do some stuff. Like margin creates an extra space that is invisible. Padding creates an extra size, right? Border creates border. Just like that, position also does something. So the position property of an element defines the position of an element onto the page. Now, see how simple was this definition. The position property of an element defines the position of the element on the web page. Now, the definition sounds very lame, right? Like, what exactly is this? We can understand that position is going to do some positioning stuff, but how it works, that's where the magic is. Okay, so let's see that. But first of all, guys, definition is very simple. The position property of an element just defines the position of the element on the web page. But when you see it, it will be more clearer. So let's go and start. Let's see it in reality now. So guys, please focus for the next 15 minutes. I want your complete focus. Let me create few elements here. Okay, like a div inside parent I'm creating. Let me call this child number 1. Just like that, I want few more childs. Child number 2 and child number 3. Guys, please, everyone, please focus. Okay. Remember, guys, by default, every element is positioned static. By default, the position of every element is static. That means follow your normal flow. Follow your normal flow. That is what static means. Okay. Follow your normal flow. Static. By default, every element is positioned static. But now we can change it. Okay. So let's go. I'm giving child 4, child 3. Let's give them some different colors so that we can see them properly. Dot child 1. I want you to have a height of 150 pixels and a width of 300 pixels and a background color of, let me just do one thing, guys. Let me remove the background color of this. Let's keep it transparent. I'm only going to give it a border. So border of 20 pixel or maybe 10 pixel, solid black. So basically it will look like this. It will look like a simple element with border. That's all. And also I'm going to give it a margin so that it moves away from the parent. So margin of 100 pixel. Move away from the border. That's it. Simple. Margin of 100 pixels. So 100 pixel is here, 100 pixel is here. That's it. Simple. Just wanted to make it move here. That's all. So that we can see everything clearly. That's it. Child 1, background color red. Perfect. One child. Guys, come on. A simple question to everyone. Why are these child elements going in vertical direction? Just a simple question. Come on, everyone. Quickly. Why are these child elements going in vertical direction, everyone? Come on. Can you tell me? I hope everyone knows the answer from yesterday. Why are they going in this direction, vertical? Because they're block level elements. Exactly. Perfect. You guys are great. Now then, let's move ahead and let's talk about positions. Now, as I said, guys, by default, every element is position static. That means all of these element right now, this parent and this 1, 2, 3 child, all of them have position of static. That is basically doing nothing. All of them are at their normal position. Now, as I said, the position property defines the position of an element in the web page. And by default, they are position static. So right now they are positioned static, but now we can play with that position. We can play with their position now with the help of the position property. So let's do it. So let's go to child 1 now, or let's go to child 2 now. Okay. And now I give position. As I said, guys, remember that by default position is static. So even if I do this, nothing will happen. Nothing will happen. It's static only. To play with it, we need to go with some other positions. So let's go and let's start with the first one that is called as relative. Now I'll give you a definition of each and every position here. Okay, so understand. So when you give a position of relative to any element, when you give position of relative to any element, what happens it is always positioned. Let me mention, whenever you give relative, it is always positioned according to its original place. That's the definition, guys. Element whichever is having a position of relative, it is always positioned according to its original place, but it comes out of the flow. It now doesn't follow the flow. Let me show you that. Save it. Now see, right now you'll not see any difference. Even if I have given relative, you will not see any difference here. No difference at all, because it is positioned according to its normal flow, right? And if you want to see the correct position of that element, now do one thing: right click on that, inspect, and now see, after applying position to any element, see, this is added on top, one more layer in the box model. Previously it was not there, right? If I don't give this property, you will see it's not there, only margin is there. Margin is the last. But if as soon as I give position, something else is also added. A position layer is also added. But you can see position is 0 0, top and left is 0. And whenever an element is having top, left, right, bottom 0, that means that is its original position. So right now, mainly top and left, you always have to check top and left mainly. So if top and left is 0, that means it is its original position. So right now, understand, whenever you give relative, that means that element is positioned according to its original place only. So it will not move. It will be there only. But as I said, it comes out of the flow. So to see that, let's do this. Give it a margin, guys. Give it a margin. Margin top of 50 pixel. And also margin left, because I want to see a few more things. So margin left of 100 pixel. Now see. Sorry. Once you give position, don't play with this now. Yes, so sorry, I forgot. Once you give position, don't play with margin, because as soon as you give positions, guys, to any element, 4 new properties are activated. 4 new properties: top, left, bottom, right. And you can actually use them to move your element around. So let me use one of them. Like for example, let me use top of 30 pixel. We'll see what happens now. That element is moving, see, from top. Now it is having 30 pixel. You can see here I've given top. It looks like margin, works like margin. Also I can give left of 40 pixel. Can you see that? It's coming on top of the blue element. That means it's out of the flow. It is not hurting that blue element now, so it's out of the flow. So guys, we can use this top and left to move that element around now easily. And these properties can only be used if you have given position. These properties will not work if you have not given position. These properties don't work for position static. They only work for position relative, or other position than static, not for only relative, other positions than static. Is that clear, everyone? So simple. Remember the definition. Whenever you give an element a position of relative, it is always positioned according to its original place. That's it. Remember that. You will never get confused. That's it. That's all. Clear, everyone? I hope it is cleared. Okay. Yeah, you don't need actually. You can use this top left to move your element around. And it's actually a good thing. It's actually a good thing. You can still use margin. It's not a problem, but you have to choose which one to use at what particular time. But yeah, you don't need margin normally. You can use these. Now then, guys, let's talk about the next one that people actually find complicated. See, first thing is they always think that relative does nothing, but you should know it looks like it is doing nothing, but it is actually getting positioned according to its original place. Now let's talk about the next one. That is, remove this top and left for now and give it a position of absolute. The next one. But before that, let me make it normal so that you see. This is how it was normal, guys. Now focus. I give position absolute. And now, first of all, let me tell you the definition. Whenever you give a position of absolute, focus everyone. Whenever you give position absolute, that element is either positioned according to its nearest positioned ancestor. I hope you guys know what is an ancestor. Any parent, my father, grandfather, great grandfather, they are all my ancestors. So whenever you give a position of absolute to anything, that element gets positioned according to its nearest positioned ancestor. That means I'll check, is my parent having position? Yes, I'll get positioned according to him. If he's not having it, I'll check my grandparent. If he's having position, no, I'll get positioned according to him. If he's also not having it, I'll check the other parent and I'll keep on checking. And if no one is having position out of all my parents, I will go to the viewport. That means the basic screen, the body, you can say the screen of your web page. That's it. Let me show you that. Right now, you can see the blue one is hiding behind it because now it is not positioned according to its original place. It looks like it's already there, but you see, guys, focus. Now, when I right click on it, you will see, top and left are not zero. That means right now it is not at its original place. It's just for seeing purposes, the browser is keeping it there. But right now, you should know that now it is not at its original place. To see its original place, you have to give top and left zero. Whenever you want to see any element's original place, make top and left zero. Now see, right now it is positioned according to the viewport. Can you see that, everyone? Right now it is positioned according to the viewport. Because what is the definition, everyone? Either I'll be positioned according to my nearest position ancestor or to the viewport. And right now it's going to the viewport because none of his parent, div is a parent, body is a parent, and no one is having position. But what if I go to the parent and give it a position? Relative, that will not do anything. Just give it relative. And now see, as soon as I give its parent a position, see, now it gets positioned according to the parent. Starting at its parent and top and left are zero. Can you see that, everyone? So that's how it works. See, top and left are zero now, and it's positioned according to its parent. Clear? That is this one which is having a border. This. Are we cleared, everyone? So that's what absolute is. Okay. So relative, it will always be positioned according to its original place. That's why it never leaves that space. Absolute, no. Either I'll go to the parent or to the viewport if my parent is not having a position, and I'll leave my place so anyone else can come and take it. That's why you saw that green element is moving on top of the red and blue element easily because they have taken its place, because that is not its original place now. Is it clear, guys? Simple and easy to understand. Let me just move the red one a little aside so you can see that red one is behind it. Red one is behind it, behind the green one. Which one is good to use? It depends. It depends on what you're doing. It always depends on what you're doing. Okay. So everyone, please confirm me once. Are we clear with absolute? So remember, relative, I will be positioned according to my original place. Absolute, I will be either positioned according to my nearest positioned ancestor. That means any parent which is having position. Otherwise, I'll directly go to the viewport if any of my parent is not having position. Okay. To confirm this, let me also do this. Wait. Let me create one more parent on top. Just to show you that, guys. Let me create one more parent. Focus, everyone. Please focus. Let's call it main, something like that. Let's pull it. Let's push all of this inside that main. Now, two parents. Okay. Let's also give some styling to main as well. Focus, everyone, please. Now you'll understand in a much more clearer way. So height of 900 pixels, width of what do you say? Um, 900 pixels as well. And to this, I'm going to give a border of 10 pixel solid blue. See that? And also a margin. So margin of 100 pixel. See that, guys? See now. Right now, see the black parent is having the black bordered parent is having position. That's why it is getting aligned to that. That's why it is getting positioned according to that. If I remove the position from the black bordered parent, what will happen? It will again go to the viewport. See, again going to the viewport because none of my parent is having position. See, this green element is having two parents, this one and this one, and none of them have any position. So I'll go to the viewport according to the definition. But if any of my parent is having position, I'll go to them. So now see, if I give position to this, it goes to the blue one. Now I'll be positioned according to the nearest position ancestor. And right now you are my nearest ancestor who is having a position. If you don't have it, I'll check you afterwards. I'll check the one above you. And if no one has it, I'll go to the viewport. Is it cleared, everyone? And when I say nearest, that means if both of them are having positioned, who is the nearest, guys? Parent or main? You tell me. If both of them are having position, who is the nearest? Parent or main? You tell me, everyone. Parent or main? Who is the nearest here? Come on, quickly. It's obviously parent. So now it will go to that. Nearest positioned ancestor. That's what the definition says. Okay? Simple. No, Abhishek, main is not the nearest, right? My nearest parent will be my father, not my grandfather, correct? So right now, main is the grandfather, grandparent. So that will not be the nearest. Why child 2 is moving and not child 1? Because I gave child 1 a margin left. Okay, and no one is moving. It's just the child 2 has left its original position. So now it is out of the flow. It's like this. Think of it like this. If you have two elements, and if this one moves out of the flow, then this has a free space because you have moved out the flow. You're out of the flow. So I can take that place. Cleared, everyone? Guys? So that's it. That's all. See, just understand, guys. Just please understand this. That now that green element is completely out of the flow. So he does not belong to his place where he was created. That element does not belong to the place where he was created now. So someone else will take up that space, right? So these elements are taking up that space because this now does not belong to that place. It either belongs to the nearest position ancestor or to the parent or to the viewport simply. So that's it. That's why they are taking up their space. Is it clear, guys? That's why they are taking up their space simply. It doesn't belong to that flow now. Now then, the last one. Right now, the last one. That is position of something called as fixed, which is used a lot, which is quite useful. Fixed. Now, what's the definition? The definition of fixed is I will always be positioned according to viewport, no matter what. Always I will go to the viewport. I will always go to the viewport, no matter what. And second thing is you cannot scroll me. You cannot scroll me. That's it. I will always go to the viewport. That's it. Now we'll see. Okay. And also let me just make top 0. Whenever you want to see correct position of any element, see, you can see it, right? You can see that. There's some top and left added to it to keep it here. So make top and left 0 to see the actual position. So top 0, left 0, and see now it's directly going to the viewport. Even if the parent is having a position, it doesn't matter now. So if you give position fixed, it does not matter. I will always be positioned according to the viewport. And for all the guys who don't know what viewport is, viewport is the viewing area. The viewing area in your screen. That's the viewport. Okay, like for example, in mobile phones, if I open a browser in mobile phone, let me just open it for you. As soon as you open a mobile phone, notifications pop up. So if I open a site in here like google.com, okay, see this area, guys. I hope you can see. So the browser area in which you can see the actual output, that is your viewport. That is what we call as viewport. So in this case, this whole white area is viewport. Like for example, in flipkart.com, this area is what we call as the viewport. The things, the area that you can see with your eyes, that is viewport. If I click on inspect, now the viewport is a little smaller. Right? Now this is the viewport. The browser area that you can see. If I make it this way, now this is the viewport. This thing is viewport. This area. Is it cleared? That's what viewport is. The area of the browser that you see, that is viewport. Okay? And if I just close it, now viewport is bigger because this whole thing is the viewport. From this top to this taskbar here, this is viewport. So understood, guys? Everyone, come on, quickly tell me. Are all the three understood? If you read them properly, if you see them properly, they are very easy. It's just we get confused in how they move. So remember that relative means I will be positioned according to my original place. That's why nothing moves. That is why nothing moves, because I'm not leaving my original place. As I said, I will be positioned according to my original place. So if there are three elements, 1, 2, 3, and you give second one the position of relative, it is not moving. It is not leaving its original place. That's why nothing happening. But you give absolute. Now I'm either the viewport or I'm to the parent. So I'll leave my place. And whatever is there, it will take that place. Simple. That's it. And if it is fixed, I'll always go to the viewport. So I'm also leaving my original place. So these two leave their original place or the place that they were created. So that's why something fills up there. Okay, whatever is below them will take that space. Simple. Cleared, everyone? That's it. That's all. Okay, Karthik is saying absolute was not clear. Can you tell me what is the confusion, Karthik? Because I want to know what exactly is the confusion. I'll tell you. Don't worry, guys. I'll teach you absolute again. Just tell me what exactly is the confusion. Okay, let me again show absolute. Let me again show absolute. Please focus, everyone. Please focus. Now, guys, see, understand that top and left should be 0 if you want to see any elements original position, right? Fine. Now, see, when you give relative, again, recap. When you give relative, everyone is at their own place because what is it, guys? Green is having absolute, sorry, relative. And when you give relative, it is positioned according to its original place. That's why nothing is happening because I belong here. This is my real position. And you can see top and left are 0. So by that is my original position. Simple. Correct? Now, if I give absolute, according to the definition, first of all, I leave the flow now. I will leave my original place for sure. And now my original place will be either the nearest positioned ancestor. Guys, if you don't know ancestor, ancestor means parent, any parent, grandparent, any of my, I don't know what exactly to call, what if there is another word of it, but ancestor basically it's my either parent, grandparent, anyone who is, what do you say, above me is my ancestor. Okay, my generation or whatever you'd like to call it, the generation before me is basically my ancestor. Okay, so either I will be positioned according to the nearest positioned ancestor. That means I'll check if any of my ancestors is having position. If they have, I will go to them, otherwise to the viewport. So in that case, now see, who is the parent, who is the ancestor of child 2? Parent and main. Are they having position? Parent is not having any position, main is having, so I will go to main simply. So I see it is going to main. If parent is also having position, I'll go to parent and see it's going to parent. And red one is behind it. Red one is behind it. It's not going anywhere. It's behind it. That's why I cannot see it. Okay. And if you give fixed, I will always go to the viewport. Always, no matter what. And also you cannot scroll me. So see, if I scroll the page, see that green element is not moving. You can see that. That's not moving. So you cannot scroll. So you see things like this, right? See that header, it's not moving. Why is it not moving? Because it's being position fixed. That's why that header is not moving. So it's a very, very great example. It's everywhere almost, right? Header never moves. So that's one example of position fixed. So guys, are we clear with this, everyone? I hope we are clear with this. I really, really hope now we are clear. Correct? Okay. And let me just do one more thing. Uh, I'll explain you the last one as well. Now, this is something that we mostly don't use, but I'll explain you. Wait. Let me give a height of what do you say? 1700, like just to get a bigger scroll bar, right? Bigger scroll area. That's it. Bigger scroll area. That's it. And now, let me just do this. Okay. Now let's not make top and left 0. Okay, so it is here now, but you cannot scroll it. See that? You cannot scroll it. This is where it is, and you cannot scroll it because top and left are not 0 now. So it is still, it is fixed, but it is moved here. You can see that. Okay, that is not its original position. You know that it's for the viewport, but let's say we have moved it here. Now see, if you give position sticky, sticky is the combination of relative and fixed. Let me show you. See, first of all, it behaves like relative. See that, everyone? It is behaving like relative. See that, guys? Can you see that? It is behaving like relative. But as I said, it is a combination of relative and fixed. So you can mention when do you want it to become fixed. So I say whenever top is 20, make it fixed. Now see, it will scroll. Oh, I might be making a mistake somewhere then. Am I making a mistake? Let me make top 0. Yep, it is working, but it is belonging to the parent in this case. So it is getting, yep, you can see that, guys. Focus, everyone, please focus, please focus. Yes, I forgot the measurement exactly. Forgot the measurement. Yes, so sorry. Now see that, guys? See that? Everyone see that? Can you see that, everyone? As soon as it reaches top 20 pixel, it becomes fixed. Before that, it is relative. It's not leaving its original place. It is properly scrolling. But as soon as it reaches top 20 pixel, it becomes fixed. So that's what sticky means. Okay, that's what sticky means. So here we go. So, and I forgot that pixel. I'm so sorry about that. I got confused there. So relative, I belong to my original place. Absolute, either to my nearest position ancestor or to the viewport. Fixed, always to the viewport. Sticky, by default, I'll be relative. But when you mention something in top, when I reach there, I will become fixed. That's all. Everyone cleared with that? Guys, all set? Hope so. Now, depending on the needs, you can use any one of them. Okay, anything, any one of it. Now I'll give you some examples. For example, see this. It's a example of fixed header. Now I don't know if there is any other. See this, guys. When you hover on this, see this whole area is coming on top of the other elements, and it is scrollable. So it is absolute. See the example, guys. It is absolute. See, when I hover on this element pops up, but you can see that this element is on top of that Alia Bhatt slider. See that? That's behind it, and you can scroll as well. So this is basically absolute. Okay, this is absolute. So this is the example of absolute. This, all of this box is also absolute because it can scroll, but it is on top of everything. Header is fixed because it's not moving on scroll. So some examples, live examples of all of this. Okay, and you might also see, right, that thing that back to top buttons. Some sites have back to top button that never moves. That's also example of position fixed. And you might have seen that at some places, some headers move a little bit, then at some point in time they become fixed. That's an example of sticky. In the start they move, and once they reach some point they become fixed, right? So that's what is sticky. Okay, why used px? Because Mohit, I think it didn't understand what was 20. That's why. because there are multiple units, right? So when I just mentioned 0, 0 is 0. That's why 0 is working. But when I mentioned 20, CSS got confused. What exactly is 20? What should I consider it? That's why pixel. So that you can understand that I mean 20 pixel. Okay, because you might mean 20 percentage, 20 points, right? 20 EMs. So it can be any different unit. Okay, guys, I hope we are clear. I don't know Apple has sticky or not. Let's see. Their header is also just fixed. So I don't remember any example of sticky, any site that has it. But if I find it, I'll show you that. Don't worry. Okay, so let's go, guys. Everyone, let's talk about the next topic for today. That is pseudo classes. And I hope you guys now will never be confused in positions. And this is one of the most important things according to CSS interviews, because they ask this, because they know that a lot of people are confused in this. So they ask it a lot of times. They will definitely ask about positions. So I hope now you can answer it to anyone with proper definitions. Okay, now before moving on to pseudo classes, let's make the poll. So let me just give them the option. So Mod, can you please just give these three options again? I'm writing it in the chat. What else was the option, guys? Restaurant, portfolio, and what? Travel. Yes. So Mod, can you please again give these three options? Is there will be scope of full stack developer? I think yes. Yes, definitely. After 10 years, definitely. Yes. When we use absolute, it will assume 20 as percentage or pixel. If I think at that time, Mohit, you also have to use pixels. It will not assume anything, because see, first of all, by default, I think it considers it as points, right? So it will only go at that place. Okay, so you should mention, even if you're using absolute, you should mention it proper units, pixels or points or whatever it is. So whatever it is considering in this, it will also consider the same thing for absolute if you don't mention any unit. Guys, the the poll is live, so please quickly vote. Okay, and let's see what wins now. Okay, so I'm closing the poll from my side. Please, everyone, vote now. Okay, head is showing red color for me. Vignesh, the tag name is header, not head. So you have to use header, Vignesh, not head. Oh, are you talking about this head? This head is telling you, giving you red color. How come this? Then see the placement of it. You might have been placed it wrong. See that, please. One vote for what? Who won? I want to see that. Okay. So if you're talking about using head in body, don't use that tag name is header. If you're talking about this head, then see the placement. Otherwise, it should not show a red color. It is showing red color in VS Code because you might have placed it wrong then. Or there might be some closing mistake there. Okay. Okay, guys. Fine, fine, fine. Everyone. Yes. Oh, yes, 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 yes. Z index. I want to show you that. Yes, guys. Focus. One more thing. One more thing. One more thing I want to show you in positions. That is very, very important. Okay. Please, everyone, please focus. Now, what if multiple elements have position? Like, for example, let me remove the sticky for some time now. Remove all of it. And let's say now multiple elements have position. For example, I give all of them position. Okay. Position, absolute. All of them I'm giving absolute. Okay. Guys, please focus. Now I'm going to ask a question to you guys. I have given all of them a position of absolute, and their parent is also having position. So guys, all three of them will go to what? Parent or viewport? Everyone, parent or viewport? Come on, quickly tell me. All of them have position, and their parent is also having position of relative. Exactly. And one more thing is they all will go to the parent, and because of that, everyone will be, no, how can it go to viewport? Amit, how can it go to viewport? Abhishek, how? Guys, please don't forget the definition, everyone. If you give absolute, it will be positioned according to its nearest positioned ancestor or to the viewport. So if all of them are having absolute, all the three childs are having absolute, they all will be positioned according to the parent, right? Nearest positioned ancestor, that is the parent. And you can see all of them are positioned according to the parent, and all of them are one behind each other, and that's why you cannot see them. You can only see the blue one, that was the last one, because the green one and the red one are behind it, because all of them are positioned at the same place. Now what to do in things like this? Let's say you arrange things like this, but now you want the red element to come on top. So guys, now every positioned element has an index which starts from 0. Every positioned element has an index which starts from 0. Okay, think of it like this. Let me open a Jamboard. Think of it like this. So when you have positioned everything, right, everything, if all of them are having absolute, so what's happening is now they're like this, one on top of each other. Okay, so this is the third element, this is the second element, this is the first element, and all of them are having index of 0. Okay, now let's say you want someone else to come forward, you want some other element to come forward. So in that case you can increase their index. By default the index is 0, so you have to increase their index, and that index is called as z index. So just go ahead. So let's say I want the child one, that is red element, to come forward. So I'll give z index of 1, and let's see that now it is coming forward. Now if I give child 2 a z index of 1 as well, let's see what's happening. Comes forward, right? Because if two of them are having, that means they are on the same index. Now it depends on it in what sequence they are being made. Now I can move anything else forward by giving any more z index to it. For example, I can also give it z index 10. It will still be forward, right? Now if I want child 3 to come above, either it should have 10 or 11, because if I give it z index 9, it will not come above the green element. See, if I wanted to go above the green element, forward the green element, I have to either give it 10 or 11, 10 or more, because this is having 10. So if I want to come above it, I have to be either 10 or more than that. No, it does not have pixel. It's just to order. Susmith, it's just to order. It will not have pixel. It's not a measurement of height and width. It is just to order. So it will just be number. Okay. So that's it, guys. That's what Z index is. And you might use, we're going to be using it a lot of time, because when we, let's say we have hundreds of elements which are positioned in our site. So a lot of things will be, something will be behind something, something will be above something. So in that case, if I want to move them here and there, I can always use Z index. For example, let's again open Flipkart. Okay. Let me just show you. Now see, this thing is on top of everything else. So what if at the time of creation it was not on top and someone wanted to move it on top? So they might have used Z index for that as well, right? So it's just moving element forward. Okay, don't worry, you will see the actual use when you start seeing the project. Okay, don't worry about that. Which one it will consider first, order or index? Indexing is the order only, Saikiran. Indexing. And if you talk about order, whatever is the last element, that will be always on top, because they get arranged like this. They get arranged like this. See, if there are 1, 2, 3 elements, when you give all of them absolute, so 1, this will come on top, so 2, and this will come on top, so 3. So it will be arranged like this: 3, 2, 1. But all of them have an index of 0. So if I want something to come on top, I will give the index of 1 to any one of them. So I'll give index of 1 to this, so this will come forward. Okay, I can give this an index of 2, it will come forward. So whatever is having higher index will be at the most forward place. Cleared, everyone? Highest limit, there is no limit. I think I have gone till 800, 900 as well. So I don't think there's any limit. There's no limit, because you might have tons of elements. Or any other attribute to use? Yes, only if your element is having position, Z index will work. Otherwise it won't work, right? So to make sure that the Z index works, you need to have position. So this top, left, right, bottom, and Z index are only activated if you have positions. What will happen if all of have same index? What happened in the start? They were like this, right? 1, 2, 3. So all of them are having 0. So they get arranged like this. First element is here, second element is here, third element is here. So whatever element is last in the sequence will come on top. if all of them have same index. Whatever element is last in the sequence will come on top. Is it cleared? Definition, um, I think the definition of z-index might be an order of the elements when you give them position, the order of arrangement. I think that's what z-index is. No, it is also applied to fixed. It is also applied to relative. So once you activate position, z-index can be applied properly. Okay. Can it be viewed 3D? No, Ashish. No, I don't think so. We have to make it if we want to make it 3D. Because by default, your web page is 2D, right? Okay. Exactly. Last in, first out. You can think of it like that. Battle Fox. Yes. So, guys, are we cleared? Everyone? We're done with positions, guys? Cool. All settled? Sorted? So, I hope now you can answer it to anyone in any kind of interview. You will never fail in this. Right? Amazing. Now then, let's go ahead to the last thing of the day, that is going to be pseudo classes. So let me create one more file for that. Let me call it pseudo.html. And in this case, I'm going to be only using internal CSS. So let's go. So getting the HTML done first. What if we give height and width in percentage? Nothing. It will be fine. You can give it in percentage. We're going to talk about that as well just in a minute. Don't worry. Let's learn at least 2 pseudo classes because that's what I'm going to use tomorrow. Guys, see, there are a lot of pseudo classes, but let's learn. We can only learn few of them because we don't have that much time. And I'll tell you about percentage as well. Don't worry. In some time. Just give me a minute. Okay, guys. Now focus. Everyone, back to the game. What is a pseudo class in CSS or in web designing? What exactly is a pseudo class? So first of all, again, giving you a idea of what it means, then we'll check it in CSS. Okay. So first of all, what is pseudo, guys? Pseudo means anything that is false, but you can feel it. Anything that is not there, you cannot see it, but you can still feel it. That's what pseudo means, right? For example, if you have ever learned pseudo force, right, in circular motion chapter in your physics, maybe I have learned it. I only remember that thing till now. So you create classes, you apply CSS, right? For example, I create a class. This is a class that I have created. I can see it and I use it. But there are also some classes available in CSS that we don't create, but we can still use them. There are some classes in CSS that we don't create, but we can still use them. And that's why they are also called as pseudo classes. The classes that we have not created, but we can still use them. And they have many uses and many benefits. So now then, let's go ahead and let's see how many pseudo classes are there and how to use them and what things they do. But understand, guys, we never create them. They are available, we just use them, but we never create them. But we use it like a class. That's why they are called as pseudo classes. Okay, so let's go. So I'm creating a div called one. I'm writing internal styling right now. So style. Okay. So let's go. Dot one with a height of 200 pixels. It's a real class. See, this is a real class. Okay. Because I have created it. I know it. Width of 200 pixel and background color red. Save it. Ah, wrong page. Let me run this file. Perfect. You have it here. Now then, as I said, there are a lot of different pseudo classes available, and we'll see few of them right now. So let's go and see. So the first pseudo class that is available in CSS is something called as hover, which also stands for handover. And now let's see how to use it. So to use a pseudo class, first of all, select the element with its real class or real tag name or its real ID. Select that element and then put a colon. It's very important, single colon, and then mention which pseudo class you want to use. And you can see there are a lot of pseudo classes. See, these are all pseudo classes. Whatever is single colon, it's a pseudo class. Right now, I want to use a pseudo class called as hover. And now here you can apply CSS. For example, background color blue. But you might say, sir, I have given this element a background color red. So why am I applying blue and how it will work? So let me show you that. A hover pseudo class only gets applied when you move your mouse on that element. So right now, this CSS will be applied when you hover on the element which is having class 1. Let's see. I move my mouse and here we go. It turns blue. I remove it again, turns red. I go there, it turns blue. So this is what hover pseudo class does, guys. Hover pseudo class only gets applied when you keep your mouse on the element. That's what hover is. So all these effects you see, all these effects that you see, right? All these things, see, when I go in here, see the color of the text changes. You can see that. See, this is all hover. This is all hover. Now here they don't have it. Yep, see, when I go here, it underline comes. That's also hover. So all of this is done via the hover pseudo class. See, when I go on this button, how it changes. So all of them, all of this. When I go here, see, underline comes. So all of this is the hover pseudo class. Cool. Now, just like that, there is one more pseudo class. Again, I want to apply on the same element. So remember, guys, the concept goes like this. First, get the element by ID, by class, by anything, get that element. Now, the next pseudo class that we're learning right now is going to be something called as active. Now, let's give it background color. Now, guys, you can change any CSS. Okay, you can write anything, not only background color. Right now, I'm writing background color, but you can literally write anything, height, width, whatever you want. So background. Look, let's work with height. Let's say I increase its height to 400 pixel. Okay, so initially it is 200. I said whenever this active pseudo class is applied, you should become 400. But now the question is, when is the active pseudo class applied? Because when I move my mouse, the hover pseudo class gets applied. So guys, the active pseudo class is applied when you press your mouse on that element. Like I press and see. And the time, the until you leave it, it's active. So I have pressed it and I'm keeping it pressed. That's what you call as active. Once I leave it, turns back to normal. Press it and keep it. That is what you call as active. This is, guys, what you call as active. Okay, so example of one more pseudo class. And just like this, guys, there are a lot of pseudo classes, but you know that we cannot cover all of that in one day. We need at least 2 days to cover all of that. And since this is essential, we cannot cover all that because tomorrow we also have to make a project. But this is I wanted you guys to know at least these two because I'm going to be using this. Utpal, double colon means pseudo elements. Single colon means pseudo classes. Double colon means pseudo elements. Okay, so that's what it is. Is it clear, guys? These two pseudo classes. Now you can use this as a Kickstarter to learn more about pseudo classes. No, Naman, I'm not obsessed actually. Those are the only two sites I recall whenever I think about opening some site and showing something to you. And why, I'll tell you, because see, one site is designed with the section based logic. You can see everything is big section, and one site is having a lot of small sections. So these two are some good examples actually of different sites. This is having small sections, this is having big sections. So that's why I always take these two. I'm not at all obsessed with any of this. It's just those are the two things I can recall because they are good sites. That's it. But I'll use something else in the next lectures, don't worry. Now I'll boycott Flipkart only to show, not for shopping. Okay, otherwise they will block me. Okay, cool, guys. Okay, let me tell you nth child as well. At least I'll tell you that. Okay, so now, guys, see, what if you have a div. Okay, just a div, and inside that, let's say you have p's, a lot of p's, p, hello, or maybe multiple h1s, not p's. Let's take some h1s. H1, heading 1, h1, heading 2, h1, heading 3. Okay, perfect. Cool, guys. Everyone, now see. Now I have 3 headings. You can see that, right? You have 3 headings. You can see that. Perfect. Now, I want to give some color to this second h1. So now what I can do, I can either give it a class, correct? Class h. And I can apply some CSS like this. Dot h, color red. See that now? Perfect. Color red. Amazing. Good. Now, what if I don't want to give it a class? Is there any other way? Yes, there is. And that is, what you can do is, you can write h1 and then give it a color. But you know that in this case, what will happen? All the 3 h1s will have red color because h1 is selecting all these 3. So without giving class name also, you can select a specific element. So for that, you have a pseudo class called as nth child. So guys, how it works is nth child means I will target the h1 and I will check that in that parent that h1 is having, in that parent, and if I mention 2 here, so guys understand what it will do. H1 nth child 2, that means I will try to find out the h1 which is the second child of its parent. So now in this case guys, first of all it will attack on the h1s. Now which h1 is the second child of its parent? Guys, you tell me, which h1 is the second child of its parent? This one. So it will take that thing. See that? That's how it works. I might also have one more div, the same collection. In this case also, the second h1 will be targeted because that h1 is also the second child of its parent. See that? Is it clear? Now, no matter if there is anything in between, it doesn't matter if there is anything in between like p tag. See? Now, in this case, see the problem. See the problem? Now, there is no h1 which is the second child of its parent. So that's one more problem. So you also have to keep in mind. Always keep this in your mind. Always. So I'll take the h1 which is the second child of its parent. Now, in this case, any h1 is not the second child. This p is the second child, and that's the problem. So for this, there is one more pseudo class. Find out that for me. I'm giving you a task. I'll ask it tomorrow. What can we use as the replacement of nth child to avoid this problem, where any different element can be avoided? I will give you a hint. It also starts with nth. See if you can find out. So guys, understood what is nth child? It will try to target the element which is the second child of its parent. Okay, second child of its parent. Remember guys, please don't forget this. Okay, flex versus grid, which one is best to use? According, if you ask me, if I give you normal opinion, both are good. I use both. But if you ask about my personal opinion, I really like flex. I really like it. Yes, I can see some answers. Nth of type, that's the solution. Yes, you can use nth of type. Exactly. Nth of type is the solution to target any particular element, no matter in between if you have different elements as well. Exactly. Yes, nth of type is the answer. Yes. So guys, are we cleared with all the things that we have done today? Okay, and I think in the voting who won? I think portfolio won, right? Portfolio won. So tomorrow we'll be making a really good looking portfolio site, and we'll be using all the things that we have learned till now, and also some things will be new tomorrow. So be prepared. And guys, one more thing. Tomorrow's session is going to be, I think, around 1 hour 30 minutes to 1 hour 45 minutes. So please also be ready for that. Right? I hope you'll be there. You know, right? Always, whenever we do project session, it will always take 1.5 hours or 1 hour 45 minutes, or in some cases, it might also go to 2 hours. So please be ready for that. Tomorrow, I'll explain this, Karthik, as well. Tomorrow's first topic will be to understand percentage, and then we'll move ahead with everything. Okay? Tomorrow's first topic will be to understand percentage because I want that to be in the project. So first topic will be percentage, and then we'll move ahead to anything else. And now, guys, one more thing. Before going, please mark your attendance, because at least 3 days attendance is required to get the certificate. And also guys, again, just letting you know that, you know, right, this is only essentials. You can see there are tons of pseudo classes, but we can only learn 2 of them or 3 of them because we don't have that much time. So in these 5 days, we are again just scratching the surface. Okay, so if you want to learn more, if you're interested in learning more with me, with us, with Let's Upgrade, so you can go ahead and check out our full stack web development courses, where we'll be teaching you HTML, CSS, JavaScript, React, Angular, Node, MongoDB, everything from scratch till the advanced part, where you will be able to make projects like Netflix clone, Instagram clone, and our whole course also has 15 plus projects. Okay, so basically at the end, if you just attend that 6 months course properly and do everything that we say, you'll become a full stack developer after that 6 months, ready to do anything, ready to do literally ready to create anything, and also job ready. And again, if you're interested, you can check out that. If and otherwise, it's completely fine. You can completely enjoy our essentials completely. Okay. So I hope everything that we have done today is understood. I hope everything that we have done in the last 4 days is understood. Tomorrow is the last day of this essential, and we are going to make a project by using all the things that we have learned. Okay, so yep. Tailwind or Bootstrap, I use both, so I'm not going to be biased in any in that. But personally, I like. See, it depends actually. In some cases, I like Bootstrap more. In some cases, I like Tailwind more. But I think Tailwind is a little more easier. I think it's just again, guys, my personal opinion. Okay, I'm not. I use both of them. Okay, so yep. Yes, Becca, can a Nigerian register for 6 month course? Definitely, definitely. We have a lot of students from around the world, so definitely, Becca, can register. So now, guys, time to announce the winner of the quiz from yesterday. So here we go. The winner of the quiz is Prinsu. So congratulations, Prinsu, for getting the 500 rupees Amazon coupon, and also Jonty and Mukhiaji. Congratulations to you as well on getting the podium finish in the top three. Okay, so now today's quiz also be live in some time, guys. So please join the Telegram link. Just that is just given below the video in the video description. Join that. The quiz will be live, so that you can also attend the quiz and get to win the 500 rupees Amazon coupon. Okay, so this is yesterday's quiz winner, Prinsu. Congratulations again, buddy. Okay, so yup, guys, that's it. That's it for today. So tomorrow we are making portfolio, but before that, we'll learn something in the first 10 minutes, and then we'll go ahead to it's me quiz. Nidhi, your name is Prinsu. Okay, guys, also put your proper names so that we can distribute the coupons properly. Okay. So tag A is always blue by default. Yes, Ashish, it's because it's a link, so that you can defer normal text with link, so that you can easily differentiate between normal text and link. That's why it's always blue. But you can change it via CSS. You can change it with the help of CSS. Definitely. Acha, Mukhia ji is you. Okay, Nidhi. Understandable. Okay. So, guys, how do I get about that? Becca, please join the Telegram link, and also just go ahead to LetsUpgrade.in and just click on enroll the course, and we'll be contacting you. Okay, so you just have to fill the form, and we'll be contacting you. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much, everyone. I hope you guys enjoyed the session, and I hope that you guys understood position, and now you'll never fail in answering about positions in any of the interviews. Okay, so now I'll see all of you tomorrow exactly at 6:30. Be ready for at least a 2-hour session tomorrow. We'll be making a project. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much, everyone, and thank you for attending. And please, let's try to touch 400 tomorrow. I'll see all of you tomorrow. That's it. Thank you so much, everyone. Bye bye. Please let me know in the chat if you like the session or not. Bye bye, guys. See you tomorrow, everyone. Bye bye.